Rain tapped lightly on the window, a soft, steady rhythm against the city's dark streets. Detective Marcus Hale sat alone in his office, the only light coming from a flickering desk lamp and the cold glow of his computer screen. He rubbed his temples. The file in front of him had been haunting him for months. Emily Carter's disappearance. Every detail, every witness, every shadow in the city pointed to something sinister. And yet, no one knew the whole truth. Marcus opened the folder again. Photos, scribbled notes, emails, all incomplete, all whispering secrets. Emily had been a journalist, fearless and relentless, chasing stories others dared not touch. But one night she vanished, her apartment untouched, her laptop gone. Her footsteps ended in a blur on CCTV, except for a strange, 3-second blackout. Marcus stared at it over and over. Something or someone and didn't want her found. He leaned back in his chair, thinking of Sarah, Emily's roommate. She seemed nervous that night, Sarah had said. Nervous, Emily? That didn't make sense, unless she knew something dangerous. Marcus felt a chill. He flipped the file open to a map of the city, marking where Emily had been. Tiny notes in the margins hinted at meetings, shadows, people watching. One name caught his eye, a man in a dark coat seen leaving Emily's building. No record, no trace. It was as if he'd never existed. A sudden knock on the office door made Marcus jump. His heart raced. No one ever came by this late. He opened the door. No one. Just a small package on the floor. Inside was a flash drive. Marcus hesitated. He knew this could be a trap. Or the key. Back at his desk, he plugged it in. Files appeared. Photos of Emily following people in shadowed alleys. Documents with names and addresses, a video. The first frame of the video showed Emily walking down the street she had vanished on. Then, darkness. 3 seconds. Black. The same blackout Marcus had obsessed over. But something moved in that darkness. A shadow. It paused. Then disappeared. Marcus leaned closer. Someone had wanted to send a message. His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Stop digging, or you'll disappear too. His pulse quickened. The city seemed to press in around him, the rain louder, the streets darker. Every instinct screamed at him. This was bigger than Emily, much bigger. Powerful people, hidden secrets, lies layered over lies. And Emily. Emily had uncovered them all. Marcus sat back, eyes fixed on the screen. The shadows outside the office window shifted as if watching him. He knew he couldn't turn back now. The first piece of the puzzle was in his hands. The rest, hidden, waiting, dangerous, and someone, somewhere, was already one step ahead. Cliffhanger. A soft click behind him. Marcus turned slowly. Nothing. Just the echo of his own heartbeat. Outside, the rain continues, relentless. The city holds its secrets close. And Marcus Hale is about to unravel one of the darkest. The rain hadn't stopped. It drummed relentlessly on the city streets, echoing like a warning. Detective Marcus Hale sat in the dim glow of his office lamp. The flash drive still plugged in. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, but he hesitated. Every instinct screamed danger. Someone had sent this, yes, but why now? And why him? He clicked on a video file labeled Emily Last Night. The footage was grainy, shaky, as if recorded from a distance. Emily appeared, walking briskly through the streets, a folder clutched to her chest. Her eyes darted constantly, scanning the shadows. Then a figure appeared behind her, tall, dark coat, face obscured. She didn't notice it immediately, but the camera captured a flicker of movement that didn't match any pedestrian. Marcus paused the video, eyes narrowing. That same 3-second blackout appeared, the moment the figure intercepted her, and then, nothing. He leaned back in his chair, heart pounding. Who was this person? Why had Emily been followed so carefully? And why did the authorities claim they found nothing? A loud knock at the office door jolted him. Marcus spun around. Who's there? No answer, just a rustle. He stood, moving cautiously, each step echoing in the empty room. His flashlight traced the shadows. A single envelope lay on the floor, sealed and plain. He picked it up. Inside, a single sheet of paper. Written in a careful, deliberate hand, some truths are meant to remain hidden. Stop digging, or you will vanish too. Marcus's breath caught. The message was a warning, but also a confirmation. Emily had been onto something big, something dangerous. The file on the flash drive wasn't just evidence. It was a trail. And someone didn't want it followed. He returned to the computer, desperate to decode the files further. One folder contained names and addresses. Powerful politicians, business magnates, people with influence far beyond the reach of law enforcement. Emily had uncovered a web of corruption intertwined with disappearances, and she had walked straight into it. Marcus noticed one address repeated multiple times. A nondescript warehouse at the edge of the city. Surveillance photos showed people coming and going at odd hours, shadows moving in patterns too deliberate to be random. And in one corner of the photograph, Marcus swore he saw Emily herself, alive. Or someone dressed like her. His pulse quickened. Could it be a recording from the night she disappeared? Or a trap set to lure him in? Suddenly, a soft beep from the flash drive drew his attention. Another file, an audio recording. He hesitated, then pressed play. Emily's voice, calm but urgent, filled the room. If anyone finds this, trust no one. The people you think are helping are the ones hiding the truth. Find the warehouse. Look for the shadow. And don't stop. Not for anyone. Marcus froze. The words were chilling. The warehouse. The shadow. Emily had left him a trail, but following it meant stepping into the unknown, into danger far beyond what he had imagined. He grabbed his coat, keys, and gun. The streets outside were slick with rain, reflecting neon lights that made the city feel like a stage set for secrets. Every sound, a distant siren, a dripping gutter, the soft rustle of papers in his briefcase, heightened his awareness. Someone was watching. He could feel it. Shadows moved where they shouldn't. Cars passed slowly, lingering longer than normal. Every instinct screamed that he was being followed. Reaching the edge of the city, Marcus found the warehouse. It was dark, abandoned, yet somehow alive with hidden motion. A faint light flickered inside, and the faint echo of footsteps reached his ears. He stepped closer, gun raised, heart pounding. The door creaked open slightly, and then a shadow moved inside, just out of view. A cold realization struck him. This was bigger than a missing person. Emily had uncovered a network of lies and danger, and now he was part of it. Whoever orchestrated this disappearance was still watching and waiting. One wrong move and Marcus could vanish, just like Emily. Cliffhanger. He took a deep breath, the rain soaking through his coat. The shadow moved again, closer, deliberate, aware. Marcus knew he had to enter. Every step forward was a step deeper into a mystery that could destroy him. But turning back was not an option. The screen fades to black. Only the sound of rain and a soft, menacing heartbeat remain. The warehouse loomed like a shadowed monolith in the pouring rain. Marcus Hale approached cautiously, every step echoing off the wet pavement. The faint flicker of a single dim light inside suggested someone, or something, was waiting. His pulse raced. The city behind him seemed distant, irrelevant. All that mattered now was inside those walls. He pushed the door open slowly. A rusty hinge screeched in protest, making him freeze. The darkness inside was almost complete, broken only by the faint light from a broken window. Dust hung in the air like a shroud. Marcus's flashlight cut a narrow beam, illuminating scattered crates, abandoned machinery, and papers strewn across the floor. The smell of damp wood and oil filled his nostrils. This place had been untouched, yet alive with hidden secrets. As he moved deeper, his flashlight caught movement, a shadow flitting between stacks of crates. He froze. Was it a person, or just his imagination? The shadow seemed deliberate, almost teasing, moving just out of reach. Marcus steadied his breath, gun raised. Every nerve screamed danger. He had learned by now that Emily's world was never simple. Every clue she left came with risk. He noticed a small table near the center of the warehouse. On it, a folder lay open. The cover read, Emily Carter, Evidence. Marcus's hands trembled as he approached. Inside, photographs, documents, and notes were carefully arranged. He picked up a photo. Emily standing in front of City Hall, notebook in hand, a figure watching her from the shadows. He turned another page, a map marked with strange symbols. Locations across the city, names, dates, meetings, and then a photograph of Emily herself, looking directly at the camera, her eyes wide with warning. A sound behind him made him whirl around. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. Someone was here. He scanned the shadows. Nothing. Then a whisper, barely audible. "Marcus!" His heart jumped. The voice was faint, distorted. He spun again. Empty. Just the echo of his own heartbeat. Marcus realized the warehouse itself was a trap, a maze of shadows and secrets. The files Emily had left were a breadcrumb trail, but someone wanted him to find them. Someone wanted him watching. He flipped through more papers, discovering financial transactions, coded messages, and encrypted notes. Emily had been tracking powerful people who had influence over the city's law enforcement and government. This was not just a missing person case anymore. This was a network of corruption hidden in plain sight. Suddenly, a crate shifted behind him. Marcus spun, gun raised, but it was empty, except for a single envelope taped to the top. He tore it open. Inside, a small USB drive and a note. "If you want to find me, follow the trail in the files. But beware. Some shadows are not just watching, they are hunting." Marcus's pulse quickened. The drive could hold Emily's final discoveries. He plugged it into his laptop. Files loaded, images flashing across the screen, meetings, transactions, hidden surveillance, names of people long thought untouchable. Every click, every photo revealed layers of a conspiracy that ran deeper than he imagined. Footsteps again, this time closer. Marcus ducked behind a stack of crates. He could hear the sound of boots against concrete. Someone was moving through the warehouse searching. He had to act fast. The files on the drive could vanish in a second if he was caught. He downloaded everything onto his secure drive, heart hammering, mind racing. Then a shadow emerged from the darkness, tall, faceless, watching. Marcus froze. Every instinct screamed fight or flight. But the figure didn't move. It seemed almost waiting. The rain outside intensified, pounding against the warehouse roof like a drumbeat of warning. Marcus knew he couldn't leave yet. Emily's clues were here, her trail alive, and the answers he sought were hidden deeper in the city, in places he had never dared to go. And this shadow, it was a warning. Someone powerful was orchestrating every move. One wrong step and he could vanish, just like Emily. Cliffhanger. The shadow shifted closer, and Marcus caught a glimpse of a familiar jacket, the one Emily had been photographed wearing during her last investigation. A voice, cold and commanding, whispered, "You shouldn't have come here." Marcus's flashlight flickered and died. Total darkness. Only his ragged breathing and the pounding rain filled the warehouse. He realized that finding Emily was not just about solving a mystery anymore. It was about surviving. The warehouse was pitch black. Marcus's flashlight had died the moment the shadow whispered, leaving him in a suffocating darkness. The rain outside hammered relentlessly, a deafening backdrop to his rapid heartbeat. He could barely make out the shape in front of him. Tall, still, almost unreal. "Who's there?" Marcus's voice cracked, betraying his fear. No answer. Just the shifting shadow, inching closer. He fumbled for his gun, but it felt heavy, clumsy in the tension. Every instinct screamed danger. Yet something, curiosity, obsession, the need for answers, that kept him rooted in place. Then a faint light flickered from the USB drive still in his hand. The screen illuminated the shadow just enough for Marcus to see the jacket. His breath caught. It was the jacket Emily had been photographed wearing the night she vanished. But that didn't make sense. Emily couldn't be here. Could she? A voice, chillingly familiar, whispered again, "You found my files, but you don't understand." Marcus froze. The voice was Emily's, but deeper, altered. Something had changed. Suddenly, a hand reached out from the darkness, grabbing his shoulder. Marcus spun violently, gun raised, but it wasn't Emily. It was someone else, someone he recognized from the photos on the drive. A man in a dark suit, one of the powerful figures Emily had been investigating. "You shouldn't be here," the man said coldly. "She didn't survive this investigation. And if you continue, neither will you." Marcus's mind raced. This wasn't just about a missing journalist anymore. It was a conspiracy, meticulously planned. The people behind it had influence in every corner: law enforcement, media, government. And they had been watching Marcus the entire time. The shadow shifted again. This time, Marcus realized it wasn't just one person. There were multiple figures surrounding him, silent and precise like predators. Every step he made, they mirrored. Every breath, every heartbeat synchronized with the unseen threat. Desperation surged. Marcus needed a plan. He ducked behind a crate, scanning for an exit. The USB drive in his hand pulsed with the secrets Emily had uncovered. He had to get the files out. But moving meant risking discovery. Then, in the faint glow of a distant light, he saw it, a small, almost hidden passage behind the crates. It led into a deeper, narrower corridor. Without thinking, he bolted, pressing himself against the shadows. The figures pursued, but slowly, deliberately, almost toying with him. The corridor led him to another room, smaller, filled with screens and monitors and a hidden control center. Marcus froze. On the monitors, live feeds of various city locations flickered. Streets, parks, alleys, all under surveillance.
And on one screen,
Emily, alive. She was restrained but unharmed. Her eyes locked with Marcus's on the monitor, and she mouthed words he couldn't hear. His heart pounded. She was alive. All this time they had kept her hidden, watching, manipulating, controlling. And now Marcus held the key to everything. The USB, the files, the trail she had left. But the question burned in his mind. How deep did this conspiracy go? And who could he trust? Cliffhanger. A figure appeared behind the monitors, stepping into the dim light. Marcus saw the face. Someone he never expected. Someone who had been in the shadows all along, pulling strings. The figure smiled coldly. "Detective Hale, you're exactly where we want you." The screen cuts to black. The sound of rain and a soft, echoing laugh fills the warehouse. Marcus realizes that every step he has taken has led him directly into the heart of a deadly trap. The hidden control room was silent except for the hum of monitors and the relentless rain outside. Marcus Hale crouched behind a stack of crates, his heart hammering. Emily's eyes on the screen burned into his mind. Alive, but trapped. Every second counted. One wrong move and they could vanish her, or him. He took a deep breath, scanning the monitors. Patterns emerged. The cameras were linked, covering escape routes, entrances, even streets surrounding the warehouse. This wasn't just a hiding place. It was a fortress. A fortress built to control information, manipulate the city, and erase anyone who threatened the truth. Marcus remembered Emily's voice from the USB. "Follow the trail. Don't stop. Trust no one." Now the trail led him here, to the heart of the operation. He stepped into the room, silent and deliberate, moving behind the monitors. The figures that had stalked him earlier were still present. Tall, faceless, their movements calculated. One man, the one who had spoken before, turned. Marcus could see him clearly now. He was a high-ranking official, someone whose face had appeared in city politics, trusted by the public. The man smirked, confident. "You shouldn't have come, detective," he said. "No one escapes this. Not her. Not you." Marcus raised his gun, steadying his breathing. "I'm not leaving without her." The room seemed to shrink as shadows shifted, closing in. Marcus's mind raced. The USB drive, Emily's trail, held something critical, something to expose them. He needed leverage. In a flash, he noticed a small panel behind the monitors, blinking faintly. Wires and circuits suggested access to the security system. If he could disable the cameras, even for a moment, he could reach Emily. Timing was everything. He moved fast, ducking under a swinging arm, yanking open the panel. Sparks flew. The monitors flickered. The shadows hesitated. Marcus seized the moment. He sprinted across the room, diving toward the screen where Emily appeared. The figures lunged, but the brief disruption caused by the panel gave him enough cover. Marcus reached her, prying the restraints with trembling hands. Emily gasped, relief flooding her face as she realized he had come. "Quick," Marcus whispered. "We have to move." They bolted through the narrow corridor Marcus had discovered earlier. The shadowed figures pursued, but the warehouse's labyrinthine layout worked in Marcus's favor. Rain poured through broken windows, masking their steps. The city outside welcoming them back into the stormy night. Once outside, Emily whispered the truth. The conspiracy was vast, involving officials, business magnates, and even law enforcement. She had uncovered everything, which is why they had taken her. And now, with Marcus, they could finally bring it to light. Marcus called a trusted journalist friend and handed over the USB drive. Every piece of evidence, every file, every photo, the truth was out. The city would hear about the web of corruption, the shadows that controlled it, and the brave journalist who risked everything. Emily looked at Marcus, exhausted but alive. "I never stopped hoping someone would follow the trail." Marcus nodded, watching as the first. Police sirens arrived, summoned carefully through the journalist's contacts. The powerful figures would be questioned, investigated, and exposed. It was only the beginning, but justice, finally, was within reach. Final cliffhanger, ending hook. As the storm raged, Marcus and Emily disappeared into the city streets. But somewhere in the shadows a figure watched. A soft, menacing laugh echoed through the alleyways. The game wasn't completely over. The city had secrets yet to be revealed, and the shadows always lingered. The screen fades to black. The rain continues, relentless, carrying whispers of secrets and the promise of more mysteries waiting to unfold.